What up, people?
Now I came to rock, I came to move the crowd, I came to scream it out.
Sweet. Hey, what is up there, people? What's up, heroes? Thanks once again for tuning in and hanging out with your nerdy friend. It's Bree, aka Nerdy. I'm here. Where are my glasses? Hold on. Where are my glasses? See right here. I have look glasses. And the glass frame popped off. Today we are going to be drawing some fun stuff. My friends at Strike Star Studio, one of my old buddies from school, he actually has some cool concept art that his friends drew for the company he's trying to make. It's a video game company, and I saw their work, which is this right here, and you'll see it blow up on my screen. I essentially saw it, and I was like, hey, it'd be dope if I redrew this for you and try to make it a little bit better. So that's what we're doing right now. Is it showing it for you guys? Some legacy issues. I don't like that. Let's see. Hold on. Turn that off. Turn this on. Let's see. Is it scaling? It's not scaling up and down. It's just staying the same. Well, this is silly. Hold on real quick. We're going to see if we can change that up. How laggy is it? I want to see this. Because if it's super laggy, we can't have that, people. We cannot have that. Let's see. Hold on. It's only laggy up there. I know how I feel about that. Let me see if I can work on this real quick. Let's see if we can go, instead of having movie player, let's see if we cut that thing off. And let's see if we go screen record. And go from source and go to my iPad. And then move that here. And oops, it's not showing anything, huh? Well, that's silly. That is mad silly, homie. Let's see if it goes this. Are you just not gonna be big today? Is that how we're doing? Is that how we're rolling today? Are you just gonna be amazingly difficult? See, this is why technology is not my friend. Let's see if we can do something else here. Because I want you guys to see it live as I'm messing with it. And not partly. Alright, so you can see that. And does it do it on your screen for you guys? Alright, let's just put that right there. Okay. So, real quick, like I was saying, we're going to be working on his drawing, on his design. We're going to be moving into all that, get some life into it. I'm probably going to redesign it in a kind of sketchy, more unique type of fashion. Nothing too crazy, just enough to, you know, give it more of kind of concept-like flair. The person did do, if you're looking at this, they did a front view. It's supposed to be kind of more 3/4, so kind of more like this. Their kind of way is, it's not directly flat. It's kind of just a little bit. I'm gonna try to turn a little bit more so you can get a pure 3/4 view of what's going on with the person. They did a back shot of the person, which is great, and then they did do a side. I feel like there's lots of elements going on here. It makes it look really interesting. But with that, for design-wise, for video game, I mean, it's pretty easy, simple design. It's nothing too crazy. Like as you can see, I'll just kind of go over this. So as you can see with the red, you can see like right here, it has this back element where it essentially goes around the back side of his head and creates this helmet. But if you look right here, like you don't really see the connection. Like where does it connect at? And it kind of gets lost in these points right here. Also, you know, the person has ears, and you can't really see that from this picture right here. So I'll be adding that in. Also, if you look right here compared to what's on this other side, it's just kind of hard to place out where certain elements of the drawing are. So that's what I was kind of, if you look, that's what I was kind of trying to figure out here. Like, you know, obviously, if I were to, let's make that opacity go down just a bit. If I were to do the same thing, obviously, this is the eye, right? This is where your human ear would be if you're just doing, you know, basic shapes of a nose, gesture. Cool. That's a neck, right? You kind of got things going. Well, then obviously your ear has to land somewhere right here, right? Then your nose, then your mouth. So I have it. Then that chin, right? But see, they got this mask that goes over here, and then they got this tubing, and it kind of comes around. So I'm just trying to make things make sense. Like if you're going to have this back area for the helmet, then it would have to ride up a certain type of way, connect in here, and then you would have to have these elements. So that's what we're going to be playing with, trying to make sure this looks, it's very easy to read on thought, and trying to, you know, it's kind of change it a little bit more concepty, so you can just get a full feel for it. And also workflow, like their design is not too crazy, and it does have a lot of things that it has going for it, which I like, and I think the artist did a good job. I think it's just, you know, more cleaning up. I think they're kind of more spitballing this idea, and then they're like, all right, this is kind of the idea, and they didn't want to waste a lot of time in it because I think they just kind of wanted to jump into the model aspect of everything of it. So that's why I'm not gonna purely be like, oh, this is the worst thing ever. It's not. It's actually really good. So that's what we're going to be doing here today. Let's probably name the stream, right? I don't think I named it. I think I just kind of created the stream. We're not gonna practicing on iPad, Apple Pencil, not drawing down cover. Video game, concept art, design, redesign. I'll say redesign because I'm probably gonna redesign it and get this a little bit easier to read. How are you guys doing? How's everything? TriStar, what's up, bro? Looks pretty good, B. I'm trying to make it work for you, homie. I'm gonna try to add in some elements in there for you to make it look kind of make it look a little jazzy. I don't know if I'm gonna put any colors down yet. I'm debating about it. I mean, it depends on how long I want to stream today. But I'm gonna hook you up because you're the homie, and of course I'm gonna hook you up. Always down to hook up the homies. So with that, let's go ahead and get all into here. Sweet. About to say, how's your day going? How's everything going? Is it awesome? Did you party on the weekends? Alright, let me go here real quick and go to this and go here. I'm just trying to make sure everything's lining up really well. Share this and yeah, there we go. Alright, let's add that to you, add to the Facebook, because everybody's gonna bother me if I don't put it on Facebook, because God forbid Bill will kill me. Bill will come for me in the dark. And I'll be like, Bree, why didn't you tell us you're going live? It hurt my whole soul. I'm hurt today. Alright, so let's do this. Going live. I wish you could go live on multiple platforms at the same time. It'll just save everybody's soul, but you can't. And if you do, then it's like a copyright infringement. You get copyrighted on your own self, which is dumb, which I think is just ridiculous. But going live. Alright, cool. And we'll post that bad boy. Listen to different things when I draw, and things that I like to listen to, not everybody else messes with. So let's go to movies, actually soundtracks, and believe it or not, I did like Wakanda, I did like Black Panther. I just did not like the soundtrack for it. I thought it could have been a bit better. Baby Driver has a great soundtrack, but I like little epic sounding things, and I think that one sounds pretty like it. Let's see. Do you sound like it? Are you gonna play any volume for me today? You're just gonna be weird? You're just gonna be weird? That's beautiful. I appreciate everything that you just did there. Okay. Nothing came out of there. That's awesome. Nothing is coming out. It's ridiculous. What? Okay, I can't have this. I need some music. I need epicness to go through. I'll play some stuff on my phone because this will work better. That's ridiculous. I don't know why it's doing that. Maybe because I have it streaming through audio, pulling up through here. So let's go to download it, and let's go to. This is the old school Isley Brothers. Alright. So, Boom Sleep GR, gotcha. Alright, so let's get down with this. Party on Saturday. You're invited, of course. I should be back on Saturday because I think I will be. On Friday, I'm going to Texas real quick just to see a friend, and then from there, I'll be back actually the same day. So that works. All right, so let's put this little side-eye view that I did down here. If you guys are watching for design-wise, if you see I drew like a light skeleton in the blue right here, what that is essentially is a good base to how to do a 3/4. That's how my friend Endez kind of showed me how to do it, and so I'm just going to show you guys real quick. So I usually start with a very loose pen and just really quickly let's bump that opacity up. Draw like an ink line. Actually, let's put that down here. Let's go one more, and then let's move that out. So usually you throw like a stroke down, right? That's your center line, your center mass, and you make a target, right, where the space is. And that essentially is Z space. That X at the bottom is your ground plane. And then from there, you would build out and you start making things kind of come to life. 7 to 1 a.m. Alright, I'll be there 7 to 1 a.m. And so once you have that, that's when I usually like to switch colors. And that's when you can kind of do interesting things. So I think this character is, I'm not sure he's a protagonist or if he's a villain. But, you know, if he's whatever, let's figure out like a pose for him, right? So let's get like a light idea. Maybe this is his face, right? Maybe he's kind of coming back like this. Now you gotta think in 3D space, so that's why really quickly I'm just kind of, let's put this a little back. Alright, so right here, this is his angle. Alright, nothing serious, just kind of throwing down some basic lines. And let's have his arm kind of back just a bit right here. And then his hands are open like that way. Yep. And then just kind of get a feel for the character. Maybe it's cautiously entering into something, right? And so from there, you got kind of a base idea, right? And then if you're doing it kind of more concept-y, you gotta be kind of loose and fluid, right? So he kind of has this chest piece. I'm assuming that's like part of his breathing apparatus, right? And he has these shorter pieces. Now this is the part where if you're designing for a video game, you gotta think of movement, right? If this is kind of a robotic suit, then you gotta think how does that arm move? So when we're designing, like at Full Sail, when they're teaching you game art or character design, you got to think topology and how the modelers are going to be able to make the topology work and where they're going to tuck in endpoints or something like that, or as we call it, the ugly endpoints. And then from there, where would they take it? And so he has these cool robotic arms, right, and this bodysuit. Well, then let's like really play with that. Let me drop this down just a bit. Cool. And then he has these legs. Now his legs are very interesting. They kind of look like they're obviously very robotic. So, you know, they have this kind of primary set form, kind of like RoboCop in a sense. So, you know, we gotta mess with this and get that whole thing going. And they have these joints. We got it right here. And they kind of piece together like Transformers in a sense. And then they have these 3 broken down parts, which is interesting. I like that design. Right? And then they start building over. And it's kind of evolving that way. Right? So right now, it's just very rough. No full detail because you're just trying to get the idea of the character, the feel of the character. Right? The cool thing about digital is once you kind of got your idea what you want down, you can always drop opacity. So this is the kind of basic pose I'm going to put him in. Now actually I think I will extend this, make him a little bit taller. I think that trim that down. Yeah, that's kind of better. And then I can take this and move that down just a bit. Right? Let me move this over here so you guys can see it. Cool. Right? I'm going to drop down the opacity of this character to right about there so I can see it. And then right about above this point, this is kind of when you get more into start adding your details, like your secondary details. You start figuring out what you want and don't want to do. You know, it looks like he's about to jump. Yeah, yeah, you're right. It does look like he's about to jump. I don't know what he's about to do. He's ready for action. All right. So from here, you got key elements of him. You know, he has his face mask. He has this tubing that goes on, that heads towards the back. I'm pretty sure too, like a breathing apparatus on his back. You have his legs. He has a metallic core, and then those legs have like kind of carbon fiber type deal going to them, right? So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to start centrally and then build out. So I'm going to start from the part that looks the most interesting, which is this weird little piece in him, right? And just kind of like throwing down my basic details of what it would look like, and then from there, all right, cool. He has this kind of apparatus that kind of goes around, so throw some design elements in there, right? Kind of comes up and over, and it has a cool base where it kind of looks over this way, and it looks like that actually protrudes out just a bit, so we're going to give that element of what it does. So right here, kind of comes down, comes back around and over. And then from there, he has these interesting tubes that go kind of where his neck would be, right? Now, this is the part where I was thinking we could probably alter this a bit. So he has his neck, obviously, right? But what if we added layers to this? Like, what if it had different elements of layering? Because right now, if you drew it, I'll show you what I'm thinking and why I'm saying this. So based off the idea that you have already, he has these points right here, right? And essentially, what that looks like if you just do it from the front, right? If you're just doing this way, it kind of comes up, and it doesn't give you any kind of detail as to what that is. It's just kind of like this neck piece, and then all right, cool. He has this neck. But then you have his breathing apparatus, and then you have his nose, right? He has a mouth, and this tubing comes out, right? And then it kind of goes this way. But where's his neck, right? That was never really it's not really shown there in that drawing. So how's his neck work? And so what I'm thinking that they meant to do was, because a person's shoulder is just, for anybody watching, whatever, a person's shoulders are kind of more like this, right? So you kind of have your person, right? Their neck. Really, basically, they kind of come down like this, right? So the way they have it, it kind of is like this. Then it kind of goes over this way. And then it comes about this side, and then it shoots down. And then it's this core. But then you see where it kind of dips down and then it gets big. So unless they're doing this intentionally, like he has holes, he's missing holes right here. Ooh, sorry. He's missing holes right here in his body, and they kind of this way. He kind of has that type of weird arch going on in his shoulders, and it looks a little different. So if you're trying to design that as someone who's trying to model it, or if you're trying to draw this from other angles, like what does that mean? And then is this neck, how long is his neck? And does that tubing go like this way? Or if it does have a drip, like how does it have a drip if his neck's not that long? And so that's the part that I'm trying to essentially redesign right now, like trying to clarify. And that's kind of what you got to do when you're doing like a concept for people so they can follow it if they're trying to model it. And so that's where I'm just clarifying up right now, like fixing those parts. And so what I was going to do essentially is increase this. He has this cool little mesh going on, like right about here. He has this mesh going on his suit, right? And the cool thing about the little mesh on this suit is like it kind of goes. It's like a triangular chest piece. So I'm gonna play with that and give him kind of like a extended area to work off of. And this tubing, I'm actually gonna have this tubing go up into his neck. right? And then this tubing, this is just kind of, we're gonna make that like it's a fiber mesh, essentially, right? And then when he has this tube going down towards his body, it just makes more sense. And I'll show you guys once I kind of get to it. So he has this face mask, and now you can kind of start showing. I can show you kind of what I think they're trying to go with. Right? And it's just enough to show you, hey, there's his neck. There's this cool little diamond grid going on right in here, maybe. Or maybe that kind of comes down more this way. Let's see if it looks better that way. Yeah. Yeah, it looks better that way. So we'll make that a little bit more thick. And then put this in here. And now it kind of clears up what that was going with. Like, alright, cool. There's this space right here. Now his neck has about 2 rings worth of neck going in. And now this tubing that goes around his face, the little face mask, can come about like this side. And now then you can go and then you can start building out like, alright, cool. That's where his helmet is. You can kind of get a feel for the helmet. You know, just really lightly, just kind of put it in there. I'm putting earpieces on the sides just because in the area, I'm not sure if he's human or if he has cyborg, but you would still have a space for your ears right here. And so you would just have to have these elements. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide that where that silver part goes. So the silver part, his eyes are kind of right here, and then he has this kind of triangular avatar looking black part. So we're going to connect that down and into a back kind of area. And then that's going to stem out this way. Then it's going to have his eyes, and then right where his ears would be, that's where the metal parts are going to bend, kind of like Colossus. And we'll put those around his ears so that that's where his ears would be, so you don't have to guess where they are. And then we can build out the rest of the mask as such. And I'll do those in the more different areas or different designs of his mask. But right now, like I said, I'm just still trying to just get him kind of to the basics. And so, yeah. Have you tried putting a tub in the back neck and not to the side? That's what I said when I first saw the design. I think the tube going to the back is like kind of generic, because I know what you're saying. Like if you try doing it where it's like this, where if the tube was coming. Now let me just erase off this part because I'm not going to use it. So I get what you're saying. If the tube was right, this red part, get there. And the tube was going this way, right, and then coming down to this little back piece that he has. And I thought the same thing, but I think for a character, like for character design and concept, I think there's a reason why they did that way. And one, it looks different, and I like that they're doing it differently. Hey, what's up, Jay? I like that they're doing it differently. I like that, you know, it's kind of sitting here. If anything, I think it'll actually be more interesting if actually they have the tubing going, like here's his mask, and then the tubing actually goes, it funnels through a little filtered part, and then it gets really big and actually rolls down the back of the head, and as he turns, it's on the back of his head like it's a mohawk. I might redesign it that way too, because I think that would look really interesting. But I get exactly what you're saying, and I think you're right. That'll be a different way you could redesign it. Well, that's cool about the concept. I mean, you can just redraw it in multiple ways. These are still this conceptual sketch that they put out, and you know, like I said, I'm just trying to jazz it up for them. I think since this triangular part for the shoulders are there, I think what they should do is they have this really interesting pattern going on, and I think they should play more of these patterns. If we're going to do it, you know, then I say do it fully. So the thing that I learned from my buddy Andes, who works at EA now, and back when he used to design, and we used to sit in class, is when you're doing character design, you have to have repeating forms, or repeating shapes, or repeating patterns. And so this metal is a repeating shape, right? And you have to make it have its own moment in time. And so when I start adding in color to there, you'll see exactly where I'm kind of going with this. And I'm giving it its own space. So I shouldn't be really focusing on this, but it's gonna bother me until I get it. So these metal like railings, I feel like can be done a little bit better. And I think there's enough space in between them all. We'll want to make this pop out. Cool. And then that starts working, right? Cool. And then if you go into the body, just using what they're giving you, or get what they're giving me, you gotta think if it is cyborg, and if you're still going off that character, you know, that kind of robotic character build and design, then he still has a body frame here, right? And so the upper mass has to always kind of have this kind of design moving this way, and then you have the arms kind of coming out, and I think that's where the cool part kind of starts coming out, because then you start adding that 3/4 type view of everything, and we can start making that kind of come to life. Cool. And bring that all in there. Right? I think they were trying to make the body kind of come to life more. And I think that's kind of cool. So we're going to keep rocking with that. This kind of symbiotic, organic type feel. Like I'm going off of the design that I have. I have a design in my head that I kind of want to read, like I kind of want to do. But I'm kind of going off the design that they provided, and I'm just trying to, you know, make it clear. Because, you know, he has a lot of cool elements going on, but it's, if you're to give it to somebody that didn't understand it, then they wouldn't be able to read it out right. So really quickly, I'm just kind of rejazzing this up. I was like, Tomo, do you draw, man? Are you an artist yourself? I know that Jay sometimes does his thing. So, and if you do draw, what do you like to draw? Cool. Throw that in there. I think I will make that knee kind of come more like this, though. I'm not going to follow the guidelines that I did originally. I think you can actually mess with that a little bit more. And I think we can actually make this leg probably a little bit smaller. So let's put that back this way, right? Cool. Let's throw his unglet right here. And maybe, you know, we'll figure that leg out, and it's going to be kind of sort of like in this little spot back this way. I'll figure that leg out in a bit, right? But now he just feels all kind of super stretched, and he feels like kind of deformed. So let me do this. Let me take his upper body and stretch it out. Just nope. On a different layer. I am on a different layer. See, this is why I don't do digital this much. So let's see. Let's see if I can just do this. I'll just combine these layers down real quick. Yeah, and then I can do this, and then I can go here, and then I can go to draw these elements, and I can actually stretch them out. Actually, you know what? I'll not do that. I'll do this. I'll stretch out his upper body. And too. And I'm gonna stretch out his upper body. And there you go. This feels a little bit better. Put it right here. I don't know. Hold on. I don't like this. Let me do this. Let me add in a new layer. And I'll just kind of draw it by hand. So I'll just freak it this way. This way you guys can see the full kind of my thought process when I'm drawing something. Because I'm trying to draw it in that pose that's similar to that. And let me draw it in a way that makes more sense to me. Alright, so let me draw it in a way that I think it should be drawn. So I'm starting with the head, and we're going to draw this tubing right here. And just try to throw that in here. I'm drawing it the way that I think it should be kind of rocked out right now. And then we're just going to try to breathe up. So let's do this. Let me also clip up the audio because I don't have no audio right now. And it's driving me crazy. It's too quiet. You guys can't hear anything. And I don't want you not to hear any good stuff. So let's go here. Let's go to some live music. Let's go 24-hour live something. 24-hour music. What do you guys want to listen to? Anything you recommend it? Deep Nation Radio. Let's go lo-fi hip hop. Why? Because why not? That works. Alright. What do you guys want to listen to? Yeah, I just restarted because I'm like, let me just draw it in the way that my brain sees it. Right now I'm trying too hard to like dissect that one part, and I'm like, let me just draw it in the way that I think it should be drawn, and then I can tell you why I did, why I changed the way I changed it. I think it just will work better for me that way. Sorry if anybody's like, oh, I want to see you deconstruct it. I can deconstruct it later, but it was just driving me crazy. I was like, look, we're fighting with too many different things. So I'm just going to re-add it the way I think it should be added up. Cool. Alright, throw that wrist in there. Alright, throw that back this way. I usually like to draw like really big, and then I like to I'll take that back. I like to minimize it, or I take that back. I like to draw big, small things, and then shrink it down, and then keep adding on. I just learned that way works better for me, especially if it's conceptual. Just because, like my brain, I usually when I see a drawing, I see it the full way through, and then if I draw it too vast, I get like lost in the sauce. But if I focus on certain elements and I keep bringing it down, bringing it down, bringing it down, start adding in and start adding in, it just seems to come out better to me this way. And so that's kind of why, if you see like starting on a certain part and then I shrink it down and then I add on to another part. I think that maybe we should draw his hand doing something different here. Let's draw his hand kind of like in that art pose, you know, where it's like, cool, this is a robot. You know, we'll figure. Well, I suck at hands, so we'll just figure that part out when it comes. But that part. Alright, and this leg's obviously more forward. So hip, small, big, cool. Shoulders more this way. Kind of pops though. Let's try to, let's put that head like right here. I don't know if he has any weapons. I should probably try to figure that out too, but I don't here. Right? There we go. Cool. kind of looks like Ninja right now. And then I'll build up from there. I don't know. We'll try to make it that way. Make his legs a little bit beastier, just a bit. And rock that out that way. Cool. And then I'll start doing that way. So that works. Alright. If you notice, also I draw at an angle, because then you can always just turn the picture and make it whatever way you want. But I usually, when I'm drawing, I draw at an angle, and then I can just turn the picture and make it like straight. Nothing special. It's just how I design things. Alright, so now we kind of got that going. This is now where I would essentially start adding in my little finite details, right? The things that I liked. So this is when I'm going to start adding in that piece. Just because I want to be ridiculous right now. Let's go ahead and add in that glow. That doesn't need to be there yet, but whatever. Why not, right? Cool. We know that's the glow point, right? That's the power. That's the luminance key. From there, woo, not that color. From there, we're gonna add in that tubing on his mask. Right. Let me alter this one just a bit. Yeah, let me change that down. Change that up and make it where this one is a little bit more turned this way. And now we can put that in there. I would actually make this whole part of his neck that mesh, because why not, right? And then he has this kind of cold part, comes over. This is where the tubing goes. And then throw the tubing over this way. And now he has this kind of cool moment for the side of his arms. Right? And it kind of cuts right here. And then kind of go right this way. So what I'm doing is, there's these parts of his arms on this side right here that I think it'd be cool if we expanded that out and kind of gave it something like this, right? And then obviously he has no chest right here. He needs a chest, right? And then he has his apparatus that kind of wraps around, and we're just adding on to that. We're building that up, and so it can have dimension. And so that's essentially what I'm doing. I'm adding dimension to his ever evolving body, because I'm pretty sure he'll probably grow as his story kind of comes on. And kind of throw that right there. Throw this on. He has this cool little heart shield thing. I feel like that part of him, which is metal, will be right here. Actually tie in right here. And it kind of goes down towards his junk. And then to that circle, let's move this circle this way. Cool. And now let's throw that over this way. Set it this way now. Pop it. Cool. Now it's going to be more like this. And he has this tubing that kind of wraps around that goes right into this, like it's like a girdle, I think, but it's part of more of that eccentric warrior tubing that he has. Cool. And so right now, I know you guys can't see it, but I'll show you guys essentially what it looks like. I'll just use a Copic marker that I created, go really gray. And so just going off the design, this is what it looks like if you had color with it, because I can see it. I'm not sure if you guys can. So we just add in the color real quick. So really quickly, black finish, right? Adds it in. Here it is, right in here. Right there goes this side paneling. The black part is going to be essentially where the metal, where the black metal is, right? Everything that's gray is the black metal, just so you guys know. He has his kind of black metal in here, but I think that's a cool opportunity for you to play with something different, or maybe make it like have more lights in there or something like that, right? And then right in here, actually I take that back. Right in here, we're actually going to do a lot of this fiber work, right? He's going to have a lot of these fibers going down. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. All right. And really quickly, he kind of already starts coming to life a bit more. All right, you can kind of get a feel for how he looks. And you kind of already know, like, oh shit, he might be about business. Yeah. And then that's kind of how that goes and starts working. Hand to hand, maybe a gun though. Maybe he can go all Batman on the ears. I don't know. Is he gonna be hand to hand guy? If he's a hand to hand guy, like actually that's a question, man. If TriStar, is he a hand to hand person? Because if so, then we can play with that. Like I don't know what type of attack he is. Is he? I'm not sure if he's like a playable character, or if he's a hero, or if he is a he's more defense, or if he's more of a tank, or he's more like a range. Like all those things kind of add into it, because if he's more of like a range, or like if he's more like if you're gonna do traditional style gaming, if he's more of a fighter, then I would essentially draw him more, instead of like this, I would probably draw him with a giant, you know, kind of not Overwatchy, but we'll see. So we'll do him where his head's right here, right, and this mask kind of comes in, and then you know his eyes right here or whatever, and then cool, really quickly, like his chest comes out this way, and then he kind of has this like I'm a boss type deal going, right? And then he kind of has his arm, giant arm, and he's doing more kind of a fight. And I'd make his arm a little bit bigger. I would actually play with that and probably make that breathing apparatus actually seem like that's the thing that's kind of keeping them together. And he kind of gets that kind of flea type going right here. Let me put that up. So cool. And then I can put that mask on him. Alright, then it kind of has this mask kind of going. Cool. And then we just play to all that's there. And then we got that star coming. Like if I knew what type he is, then like I said, I would draw him kind of more like this. And then, you know, alright, cool, now he's coming at you. And you know, big bad dude, big old fist is right here in your face, kind of drawing up to what it is. He's definitely hand to hand. Regular enemy, actually. He's a regular enemy. He's in your face, son. Alright, so if he's a regular enemy, then I wouldn't draw him this big, because, you know, then that would just be ridiculous. But you see what I'm saying? Like, if he was, like, more over the top, if he was trying to be something kind of like that, then that's how I draw him. You know, give him some more ranges with his elements in the suit, and then draw something kind of big like this, and then make his other fist also big too. And he's always just constantly, I might be coming for you, you know, trying to build up that way. And that's how I would draw it. Yeah, man, I'm using Procreate. It's an app for iPads and all this. The cool thing I like about Procreate, I'll show you guys. It has this time replay, right? So if I wanted to, it'll show you essentially what I've been drawing and how I draw things. So it shows you like my thought process, what I'm designing, how I'm bringing it up. So Ray, that's a good answer. That's a good question, man. You get to see essentially instant replays. It's pretty much like a baby Photoshop. You can do layers. You can do masking tools. You can select, draw, build up, not build up, all you want to. You can add in pictures. You can overlay. You can color dodge. You can pretty much do everything Photoshop does except for like add in shapes and all this other stuff. You still got to be able to draw that. It does have a really cool perspective grid element to it that you can build and use up from there. But yeah, I like using Procreate. It's easy for me, quick to learn. It also, like I said, you can instant replay things, which it saves me time and it helps me when I'm trying to design something. Just because I think that you know, sometimes it's just kind of good to see like how you're drawing it and what came back to it, and then why you decided to do this type of design versus another type of design, and then build up from there. So yeah. Oh, thank you, Sonic, man. It is. Thank you. I hope it's cool. I'm trying. But it just, you know, helps you kind of grow the way you need to grow and move on from that point. But I think Procreate's great. Like I said, it's like $7.99 or $9.99 right now on the iOS Apple Store. I think it's a steal for what it is. They're constantly updating it. You don't have to rebuy it. Whenever a new DLC or something like that drops, you can just build up from there, and then you can kind of use it the way you want to use it. I think that Procreate is probably like the best option on the market right now if you're just trying to grow and turn it into something crazy. And then I see a lot of people, you can do all types of stuff with this. So I should be like a spokesman for Procreate, right? But as you can see, this is the thought process so far. This is where we're at. And then the final one is like, you know, big bad dude. If he's like a brute, and if he's like, you know, the arcing hero type of the story for the tank, you know, that's how you would always draw a tank. Tanks usually big brilliant dudes, one massive arm, kind of in that jovial, I'm gonna mess you up stance, and then throwing bows on everybody. And that's how I would draw. That's how I would draw the heroes in that sense, or in this case he's a villain. If he was like a beast, or if he's like a main villain, I would draw him in that pose, just because it gives you an idea, attitude, element of what he's like, how do you use him, and how you grow from there. And then I clean that up, but we're not going to use that. So we're going to go back to this one. I'm going to probably take this one, and then I'm going to probably clean him up. Now that I know he's an enemy type, he's a regular. If he's a regular and you just want him to look different, then if that's the case, we're gonna take him. We're gonna blow him up. So let's blow him up like this. Then we're gonna drop his opacity down. It's this constant process, man. You draw it, go over with your opacity, and then you pick out things that you like. So I think I would stick more to the basic forms then. Now that I know he's kind of more the enemy type, and he's a constant enemy, so then you have to make him easily identifiable. And enemies are usually about 2 type tones, right? If he's a repeat character, you know, you can just change up his color scheme. You got to think of that. You just take him and you just recolor him, right? Like the turtles from Mario. Think about it in that sense, right? They're the exact same turtles. They have different color shells and stuff. And so this guy would be no different. Maybe instead of this gray color that I have for him right now, we take that and we change it to like a, you know, it maybe becomes like a red, you know, as he gets harder, or like a cyborg version of him, right? Also, since I know that he is a villain type, you would take his neck, and now that neck will also still be like this, but if he's more robotic in a sense, then I would definitely detail what this is. And I would also add in these elements here. And build up this way. And this is how I'm going to start trying to move with them. I'm probably pushing down way too hard for what I really need to do, but I'm just kind of, I think I have an idea now, so I'm just going to rock with it and then see what it turns into. So we're just going to add in some of the secondary details. Alright. If you know that he's a common character, you just want to create a lot of repeat forms, a lot of simple shapes, right? The spears, right? If he has that tubing that's right there, then if we know it's always going to be there, then we just have that set and we don't touch it ever. And then throw it down right here. And then we throw that right there. Cool, that's your shoulder. Alright. Since he is a villain type, make him definitely super robotic. Alright. So add in those little robotic features where you can. Also, I'm going to assume that this is probably taking place in a sci-fi fiction world, so anything that you think is too crazy is probably perfect. So there's no overdoing of the robotic features. So then, if that's the case, these little tendons can go everywhere now. You don't have to just limit it to where it is. Right? And now you can definitely put that in there. Cool. Since his head, I feel now it's small, we can actually increase the size of that neck and add it in here. But since he is an enemy, let's not give him a face. Let's morph that into something different. So I'm doing a really hard outline right now. I really shouldn't be, but I'm just doing it, whatever. I would do kind of more like this. Right, throw that mask over his face. As the mask kind of come over and then come down. His mask kind of takes up this whole area. I would actually not show any detail near his mouth, since it is just a villain type. Right? For his eyes, I'll have that be its own little individual shape, like I was saying. I would, in turn, let's increase that size. I'd also bring this down, right? Let's add in the helmet parts here. Right. It's really rough. I should clean this up, but I'm just trying to get the idea down. I would also keep the idea of using the ears as an area where you put the secondary action for those metal pieces, right? And then you can add in the stupid little eyes if you wanted to. Let's use gel pen. Alright, gel pen, eyes, right here. That's cool. And now when you add in this color, you see it starts popping off more. And then you can add, actually let me take this color off. When you add in true color, and then go here, go to my Copic, and then cool. So now when you see him from afar, actually I forgot to put in this mask in back, but I'll do it real quick. let's say the light source is coming from this side. So this part would be shadows. Cool. Underneath there would be shadow. Cool. And here's where his mask is. Awesome. Hey, what's up, East Coast Hearts? How you doing? How is your day? Sorry if you said that like a minute ago. I'm kind of in the zone right now. Right, so we're just adding in a shadow to give you guys an idea of like what it looks like. I think a lot of people, like when they're drawing concept, and they get lost. Like if they're seeing someone drawing concept, they're like, what are they thinking? This is what I'm thinking. So I think that shadow will kind of come this way, come to the face of his eye, right? And then there you go. That's the mask. And then let's put a darker gray tone right here. And then all you gotta do is go back over that with another gray, and really quickly that whole piece becomes kind of a finite thing, right? And then yep, throw that up in there, and that's how you got it, real quick. Awesome. Working on some art myself. Yes, work on the art and draw. It's better. This is the art lab. I'm supposed to draw while I'm drawing. Work on some concept. If you have any questions, let me know. If I can help you, I definitely will. That's the whole point. Alright, let's add in this whole dark area right back this way. I'm gonna draw him in different poses. Do a side, a 3/4 side. Probably do an action pose, because I think that will work really well. I would make him purely cyborg. If he's gonna be a replayable character, not a replay, like a repeat villain, then instead of having him have a human feature, I'll just have him be purely robotic. And that way, you don't have to worry about putting all the skin detail in there. You just be in there. You don't have to fight with anybody. And then also, when it comes time later on, where you're like, all right, well, what his color is gonna look like? You can easily just change the color of his internal thing and make it instead of like. Make it instead of green, turn it like red or something, still like this. Yeah, still like this, and he's red now, right? Maybe that's when he goes to attack mode, and you just flip it. It's quicker that way, and for games, I feel like that's what game studios want to do. Try to make it easier on the game artists and also the coders, so that way they don't have to like flip through 5,000 different animatics and remodel five characters 5 different ways. But that's just free. That's what I think, just off of what I've learned from the teachers at Full Sail. Not to say I'm an expert. Alright, cool. Right? Alright, now let's go back to inking him. Right? So we got the ink. Let's get that going. Right? Bam. Bam. Also, has these tenants now. I think these tenants you can rock with. So I think what I would do is I would actually have it where this girdle, like this metal piece, this robotic, Robocop-like leg. I keep referring it to Robocop because that's just a good point of reference. But that Robocop-like leg, you can then have it where it kind of goes down and over. And then those tenants kind of show up in there, and then it's kind of like an empty space, and pops back over and comes this way. And then these tenants can go this side. Maybe come like this, and maybe these ones are, I don't know. I think you have to play with that, how you make them make sense. I think that would be best, right there. Yeah. And then you can add that over, yep. And then now you don't have to. What are you doing? Stop it. Now you don't have to like re-explain anything. Kind of just makes sense where everything is. Okay, I'll figure it out because I'm crazy. Cool. Draw that on over here. Why are you being weird? Come here. Cool. right? And now I feel like, yeah, now you can rock with that whole character design. Yeah, let's go ahead and combine these. Let's put that this way. And now that's just off this side. And let's put this bad boy right here. You can go right underneath as a conceptual design this way. Alright, and so we got this a top body, but I still need to draw him from 3/4 view. Sure. Alright, let me go this side. Cool. Yeah, layers are our best friends in the world, especially if you know how to use them, and don't be a jackbutt like myself. I suck. Believe it or not, this is actually my now going on 2nd year of using like a digital art. I'm a traditional artist by trade. This is what I do. I'll show you guys some of this stuff if you guys have never seen it before. So this is I'll show you, yeah, prime example. This is a piece that I did just more recently, right? So when I first got the iPad, I tried to draw like John Wick, and actually I take that back. The very first thing I did was try to draw, when I found out that Donald Glover was going to be Lando Calrissian, I tried to draw that, and as you can see, it's hot garbage. And so took that and I tried to draw it, and it was crap, and I was like, yep, this is done, and I didn't do it. And then I came back to it after I got a little bit more comfortable with my skills in digital, and then obviously I got a little bit better. And then took the same thing. After I drew that Lando one, I tried to draw Keanu Reeves, and I thought this is good. This one I was like using different brushes, and I was trying to be like the best thing in the world. And as you can see, it was kind of garbage. It was cool, but it wasn't cool. And I thought I did a really good job there. And then I came back and tried to redraw it, and then I drew, you know, Keanu Reeves now, John Wick, and I really like that one. I think that's a really good one. And that was just all within a year. And it's just been practicing. I can draw like the now version already on paper. It just takes hours, but I'm just trying to get into digital. And then I found Procreate, and I just really loved it. And I thought it was just an awesome app. You know, especially if like Photoshop can be a little bit intimidating, and so this one just helps me like get down the basics of what I need, and then I build up from there and start growing and turn it into what I want to turn it into, and that's just what it is. So that's how long I've been drawing. How long have you guys been drawing? Like, what's your favorite program or favorite type of surface or tablet to work on? Like, obviously mine is the iPad. I have a Wacom Cintiq in the closet, but I'm never home enough to use it. I know that's sad. I'm going to try to use it more next year. I have the Wacom Cintiq. It's a 22 HD with the pencil, and I have Photoshop, and I have all this stuff. But the Procreate, you know, it's on your app. It's on your iPad. It's right there. The Apple Pencil is amazing. It's very easy to use. I dig it. And then I just kind of build up from there as needed. I don't know. This is how I like to use. What do you guys like to use? Let me know. Alright, so while you guys are seeing this, I'm going to figure out what the deuce I was drawing and where I was drawing it at. I think this is my favorite pen. Are you my favorite pen? Are you going to be weird? Yep, you are going to be weird. That's okay. Yep, you're gonna be weird today. I see how it is. Alright. Alright, let me just... This leg is gonna bother me if I don't finish it. I'm gonna be up here like messing with it for hours. I already know how I'm going to do, especially if it doesn't work the way I want it to work. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do this real quick. I'm just gonna put these little details in here. I'm probably gonna finish this up after I get off the stream with you guys, and I'll post it up for everybody to see later on. But these little details in here, they drive me crazy if I don't get them. especially these little ripples in this metal. This is stuff I really shouldn't be focusing on, but it's gonna drive me crazy. I just know it. I know it will. It's these little details that like make the picture so much different, and they add like just a sense of like cool to the picture. I guess that makes sense. There we go. Yeah, that's fine. I'll be fine with that. Autodesk Sketchbook Pro, yes, I'm liking that. I'm using that new pen, X Pen Artist 15. How is that? Is it good? Like, my friend has been telling me about Autodesk Sketchbook, and they're like, you should just give it a try. I like Procreate. Also just like that. Like I said, I like for when I'm drawing for you guys. I like that you can just like export out the video right there in the app, and it keeps it like it keeps the video. It doesn't get rid of it. Like I have videos from I don't know, man. I don't know. What's the oldest picture that I have here? Hold on. Yeah, there we go. This is one that, like, there you go. It was around the time when I was first drawing on this thing. It has a video. This is almost like a year ago, and like it has the whole video up there from me drawing it to kind of concepting it out to I don't know what it was. It was just some weird out creature that I drew, and then I turned it into, turned into whatever it is now. Don't ask me what I was trying to draw. I just really don't know. But it was a creature. It made it come to life, and bam, there it was. Nothing special. Nothing like to write home and tell your mom about. It was just a creature, and this is when I was first trying to learn how to color. So I'm just gonna walk away from that one because that's pretty god awful. Obviously now I can color this a bit better. Sorry about the screaming background. My roommates are here with their friends and stuff, so it's all good. So I'm gonna put this character. I like these little lights on the legs that this artist originally rendered in here. I think that's really dope. So let me add that in as well. I think that's a cool touch of flair. I like these little discs that he tried to incorporate. I think that's also a cool little detail to add in. I would play with it more. Maybe one side has a bigger side than the other. I'm gonna put the piston right here on the side. Cool. Since he is robotic, and if he's gonna be a common enemy, like why not make these legs have those like really arch back moments, and then I would actually have it where like they look more super robotic. They look kind of like predators, I would say, right? And make it kind of like he has those. You ever see what is the not Ninja Turtles? Well, he does kind of Ninja Turtles right now, but like the ninja shoes. Like I'll make it kind of like this, like he's a robot ninja shinobi or something like this, and that's how he chases you, and something like that. I think that's dope. It's different. It stands out, and it's kind of easy to design. It's just like one basic layer, and you still can keep that leg design that person had drew in there, and now you can just kind of have more fun with it. Yeah, I like that. I like that design better. I think that's better. I think I'll put the lights up here versus down below for his arms. I think that's a better use of those. I would also add in, I don't know, I think there should be something else on his other arm to illustrate it. If only I knew the story. I know, I wish I knew the story. I know. I'm going off of guessing right now. It's better this way because it's this concept, man. It's more fun. Let's see. Let's see if I can throw in some sexy blacks. So let's put that all in here. Cool. Cool, cool. Maybe on Saturday I'll shoot over and you can tell me the story, and then I can actually show up. Cause I'll be honest. TriStar always tries to invite me out, and I'm usually always busy, gone at work, and I'm always like, I'm that flaky friend. I'm like, yeah, I'll show up, and I don't show up. He's just learned now. He's like, if I show up, it's like it's an event. It's a national holiday. The procrastinators ball has ended, and I am now available for bookings until the next procrastinator ball. That's what I like to call it. There we go. There we go. It's better. I like the little ninja foot. I think that's dope. And even if there are people underneath there, I think that's just, you can just play with that really, really well. Like in the suit, and they just roboticize everybody. I think you can just play with that. Have some fun with this. You don't have to take it seriously at all. Yeah. Right. Element. The lights are coming from the top, so yeah, that's still kind of be gray. And they're kind of coming from that side, so let's keep it that way. Boom. 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 Right, make this dark up in here. Cool. Cool. Throw that shadow on the floor. I think that's concepty enough looking, right? It's not too serious. It's not too serious, right? Cool. And let me get his little wrist thing going on here. Bam, 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 bam. That hand in here. Actually, you know what? Let's go with this. Do that right here. And then let's bump that opacity for this all the way up. Now you got this really, really dark hand because you don't breathe. Why not? Because you know I suck at hands. So let's make that hand super dark. And bam. And let's throw in these green accents where they're supposed to be. Ooh. Right. And now that looks like a sensible character. That looks like that boy. Right? So I like that one. Alright. Alright. Man, I have so many layers. This is ridiculous. What are we doing here? What are we doing here, people? What is in this layer? This is the garbage layer. We're gonna throw that layer up. No, wait. Before we do this, I think that this can't be saved. This is garbage. But this, on the other hand, can be. So let me take this out and go here and put this over here, and just like that. And just like that, and it's gone. There we go. And I've saved the whole side of that. Cool. Alright, now we can just take this. There's one thing I like about Procreate. I learned the hard way that you can force delete things. You don't have to delete it. You just put it off to the black and then take it off and it deletes it. It was not by intention. It was actually by accident lots of times. But it will save you hours of doing stuff, and also it will hurt your soul for hours if you delete it. I can go all the way back, but we're not doing that today. So let's rock the same thing that I already designed. Let's take this ink, and then we're going to use the same type of tubing. But now that I know his face is a little bit different, let me change his whole thing up a little bit. Yeah, let's pop that over this way. Cool. He kind of has this upper chest piece that kind of goes here now. Cool, cool. I will still keep this mask. Alright, put it up in here. So I'm gonna draw all these elements going this way. I will make the mask white and actually go to the base down here. And then I will add this little nose piece that's right here. Right. and then boop, 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 boop. Right? I'll then take his eyes. And take that one upper part and keep that. And I'll actually take his face nodule that is here. Right? And then I will take this upper element and I will increase this going this way. Pull, come back, down, over. Over, down, pull. And now all that other part makes sense. And then just like that, we have made sense of the back area of the head. You see what I'm saying? It adds in everything that you see in the front now makes sense to the back. As before, you couldn't really tell like where one part began and one part ended. The cool thing is, say if you have this character, maybe one of these characters essentially becomes like a good guy. All you gotta do is just take this concept and then just kind of freak the design where it looks like what you have, but then you add in the ability, like I think you have it where he can show emotion in his eyebrows. You can still put that in there. It's just do it differently. And that's what it is. And there you go. Cool. And now that's there. And now you have this great kind of upper shield kind of going this way. And you have this chest piece. Kind of goes right here. Cool. Cool. Thank you, Tony, for subscribing. I appreciate you. And that's that. Let's see. Let's see. 24-hour music. Let's do that again. Let's do chill radio. Can't go around chill radio, right? Yeah, Tony, you gotta let me read the story one day, man. Just save my soul. Please. Now that the procrastinator's ball is over, I can actually probably attend a group function and draw everything, or at least actually get to know the full story. Right? By the way, guys, if you're watching, go check out my friend Stride Star Studios. Go check out their content. They're trying to make a game. The whole idea of this guy is from one of their concept designs. I'm just redrawing it in the Brie way. I like to redraw things. I'm probably gonna rework this again just because I know me. But this is just kind of conceptual. Like, hey, can we redesign this and just make it look a little bit more clean and easy to read? I don't have to do this. It's just, you know, and I'm not saying that the one that he did was bad, or the guy that actually did the concept. I just think that it could be, you know, rejazzed. I like adding different elements to it, and so if you're interested in their game, definitely go check them out on Instagram. They're posting some of their concept art up there. You know, you can go see it. You can see where they're taking the story, and definitely go rock with them. They're the homies. Woo! Just realized I can probably freak that way. Yeah. Right? Yeah, I like that. Let's do this. Throw this over here. Throw this over this way. Yeah. Throw it over that way. Boop, 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 boop. Perfect. And throw that up this side. Cool. Hey Sonic, thank you for the subscribe, man. I appreciate it. And let's add in all that tubing this way. And there you go. And we have this bottom chest piece going this side. And cool. Now I'm gonna draw. Technically, I shouldn't draw it this way, but I'm gonna draw it this way just for everybody knows what's going on. Usually, whenever you're drawing like a concept form or something, if you're drawing it from the side, you don't usually draw the arms. You draw it kind of more like this. So you draw like a circle, and then you hit the crosshatch right here, and that just points out where the arm is. Oh, East, you're actually one of the people working on art for the game. Nice to meet you, bro. How you doing? My name is Bree. Kind of Bane X Manolito. Yeah, he does kind of remind you of this. This is dope. My name is Bree, by the way. I know Tony. Tony, how long have we known each other now, man? It's been almost like 2 or 3 years now. I've known Tony for a hot minute. I just draw, man. I just what I like to do. I like to mess around. I saw the art. I just wanted to rejazz it and just kind of redraw it in my way. Just have fun with it. And also, I need some content to draw. Sarah, it's nice to meet you. Even better. What's up, Sarah? I should have guessed by the name Sweethearts, but you know, assuming is a bad name. So let me draw this. So you have this box right here, Sarah, and I think that's a breathing apparatus, if I'm not mistaken, or a power source. Which is interesting because it's different to the ones. And there's a front tube going on here. I wonder if we're gonna refreak that design. So if you have that design where it has tubing maybe going this way, right on the back, and then it goes into this thing, and then maybe this weird shaped object is here, right? And then we can kind of rotate it and jazz it up, and then we can. That's where your major tube is. I don't know. Let's see if we have that major tube going this way, and then it goes into the pack, and then it starts showing up your studio right through this way. Yeah, and then you have your internal power source, and it's kind of looking more mechanic. So you just put some, I don't know, put some boxes, throw some dudes, some doodads in there, right? Not too serious. And then you have this kind of girdled. Nah, let's do that butt motion. Yeah, right? Maybe like a girdle like this. Throw that bitch right there. Nah, we don't like that. The reason I like that, I'll take that back. Looks weird. I don't like that. Let's do something like, yeah, that's better. And you have that little circle that you guys had right there. Yeah, throw it right here. Cool. And then throw this right here. Yeah, that's better. Right. And it looks like more like a robotic butt, right? Give it some angles. That looks better. I like that. Lead programmer on the game, Sony. So Sonic, you're the lead programmer of the game. What's up? And then Sarah, you drawing on the game. It's like the back view, they moved the circle up high, maybe. Yeah, that's what I was looking at. Like, that's what I'm assuming, because it's like the connection point, because you guys have it kind of connecting right down here, and maybe that's just what it is. Maybe that one part right there is not missing, because it's shown right here. And so I'm like, all right, maybe that's what it is. But then also, it's up and down right here, so in 2 different spots. So it's like kind of coming down in this spot here, then moving up into the backpack or into the power source, and that's being distributed. And this is the glow area. I want to say let's put like a little glow tube right here, and then now that's how that works, right? And that's what I'm assuming, just based off of like what I can see. So then I would like here's your glow power source, to glow your eye, and then hit it with the great color pick, blacks on blacks. So then, ooh, right, throw this over this way, bam, bam. And then it's just smoothed up. That's all it is. If that is the case, then you would draw it kind of sort of like this. And then I'll draw this neck piece black right here. Goes black into the mask. And then that back head piece makes sense now. And then throw it power up here. Right? And then you have this kind of more gray area right here. And then boop. And then I don't know, let's make a so you know where the chest is. Cool. Back. Cool. The light's coming from the front. We'll just make it come like that. And then you kind of just put your shadows on there as you have. Then everything's kind of there. Do that butt muscle. And go up in here. And then decrease that size and go up in. Ooh, too small. Cool. Throw that green up in there. Get the highlight. Ooh, nope. Get them highlights. Yes, give me all the highlights. All the highlights. Bam, bam, center bam. And now, cool. And now you got that whole area done. So now you can just essentially put this into here if you want to. Cool. And then you just go here. Oh, go here. And shrink that bad boy down. Cool. And that works. So now you got the 3/4 view. Oh, actually, kind of still more front, so I still have to draw more 3/4 view. And then you got the side view, and that pack kind of makes more sense. I should probably color in the pack, huh? Yeah, let me color in the pack real quick, so the pack makes sense. So you guys have the pack right here. I'm going to draw the pack with more color in the back. Yeah, I think they did just move it up. Sure, sharpen this right here. There you go. How did that work? I'll make it a little bit darker. Cool. Alright, now that's that. Ooh. Alright. Alright. So, let's go ahead and rejazz these up real quick. Oop, let's put this guy right here. Let's make him bigger. And then let's go here. Yeah, let's take that. And then let's put that thing right here. And then let's add in I'm just really quickly adding in this things to just make it look different. So let's go here, and let's go to black color pick, and let's go all the way big. How big is big? That's not big enough. Actually, it's big enough. Let's go here, and a straight line. Cool. And some blacks back here. And we'll go here, and go to your mask. Cool. I'm just adding on essentially. I'm trying to add that kind of clean layer look right now. Does not need to. I do not need to. I do not need to be doing all this, but I'm just doing it just because I think it looks better this way. When you're just trying to show concepts. Also, I'm just kind of going off of all this concept art I always see all the time. Cool. All right. Now let's see. We got the side. We're gonna need 3/4. We need the back side view. So let me do the back view. That one's gonna be different. So just going off what he has, let me see if we can do this again. Let's go off and import it. Let's go to smooth. And let's do a blue ink because I usually, since the back's different, let's just kind of be really loose with it. Alright, so we know that it kind of has this triangular like form going on. So let's put those shoulders on there. Right? And then let's do them kind of in the kind of, not a T-pose per se, but it's like arms out just enough. And let's add in the elements that I have. So I've rounded this off and it has a little bit of a dip and then comes back in. So it has kind of like a chassis type chest going on. For the back piece, maybe that's where it kind of dips into. Yeah, why is this popping up here? Go somewhere. Let's add in that middle circle. Right, so you have this tube that you guys have designed to go here. So let's have the tube go in. I was saying that he has his back neck piece, so his back neck piece is here. Right? What if in the back neck piece, this part that goes right here, actually kind of comes down, yeah, kind of comes down and into it here. And then you have this neck, sorry, piece that goes right here. And then you kind of have this little part here, bam, bam, over, arms, that up, oh, arms right here, cool, head, cool, this here, and that's here, over, and it's kind of like this backpack, square backpack. Nah, it's like a square kind of rectangular backpack. It has layers, so let's give it some areas for it to move out and grow into. And let's give it options. Maybe it has some doodads that we can't understand yet, right? And then he has a small little waist because he's semi-robotic. And throw that right here. Throw that on. Throw that on. He does have a spinal cord access, so it's cool. So he has kind of stabilizer for his cord. Cool. Put that right here, right there. Cool. Elements. Except for I changed it, so I made everything underneath here more all robotic. So let's see if we just do that this way. I have it where these are all tendons, and then he has his arm pieces right here. Cool. And then he has his other arm piece right here. Cool. And then he has his actual joints, and then he has his arm right here. Awesome. Nope. Cool. Alright. That was on there. That is on there. Look at me. Alright. So then, if we're just going to rock with that, then we can just start adding on different things. This looks like one of the art leads. Like your style. He makes me wish I was an artist again. Tell me you still got the skills, homie. They're not faded. They just evolved into management and game development. And this throws us over. Throw it up this way. Cool. Cool. Throw that down this way. Awesome. Alright. So, let's take that off. It doesn't matter. You don't need to see this. You already got the elements from everything else. Alright. So, once again, just going to go ahead, straighten that back out. Go into my inking. Go into my black ink. And now we're just going to go ahead and jazz that up. Woo! What is going on here? Okay, yep, okay. Alright, throw the tubing over. Tubing over. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. Let's make a spot where the tube actually goes into or something. I don't know. And then throw that on her. Alright. I'm just kind of freestyling something. It doesn't mean anything. I think that, you know, when you add in these little small details, that's when the picture starts kind of coming to life a little bit more. So I'm just kind of drawing on some, I don't know, lights and orbs and meters or something. I'm thinking of the old school Ghostbusters backpack. Wow, the proton pack. I know my nerd art. I'm just thinking of that right now. Not because obviously this is not a proton pack, but just because, you know, it's this little packet has all these lights and doodads, and if you really look at the proton pack, it actually makes no sense at all. But you know, when you're a kid, it was like the coolest thing to see ever. You're like, I want a proton pack, and so of course that's what you wanted to ask your parents for, and they're like, you're ridiculous. All right, so yeah, it's this hard part that goes right here above his head. And yeah, it's these little elements that kind of come over. Cool. Down over. Easy. Easy peasy. And those are the little black parts. This is the middle. Let me see what I did over there. I added the metal on this side, so same. Let's add in that black part that goes kind of right here and down. So I have it where the mask kind of comes off right here. Cool, over and down. I actually have it where this kind of leads down this way. Yeah. He has. There's like a bug in my house, in my room. Big ass bug just flew on me in the middle of my thing. Don't you know I'm doing the work out here, person? Can you see me in these streets? All right. So let's roll. Alright, that's all there. Maybe we have some lights right here on the back side of his shoulders. I don't know. I'm just throwing them right here. Like, why not? I think the repeating elements in design work. So, drop that down, come over, cool. Drop that down, come over, cool. And then also he has those two parts that are right in the front. That way you don't have to worry about that. And then he has his metal piece that kind of goes around his whole body at the base right here. Cool. Cute. And his little arms. His arms I'm going to keep the same. And yeah, let's rock that up. Cool. Alright, whatever. I'm kind of throwing all elements right now. Alright, and he has his kind of arm jump just right here. Let's make that back tenet really hard. Right. Cool. Throw that on there. I should probably put the back element on this side too, because you always want to repeat forms, especially if it's going to be a recurring enemy. Always repeat the forms. Cool. Cool. Throw his eyes. Throw his little wristband or waistband. His waist trainer up there. Cool, cool, cool. Throw that little backpack part right here. Yeah. Yeah. Throw this one right here. Yeah. Throw that right there. Go down, go down. I would have it, where does he have his, kind of rolls to his butt. Ah, he has these little backdrops. I like that design too. I think that's cool. If you had these little plates, maybe we do it like this. And then the plates kind of come if we're thinking, I'm thinking like game art design wise, how would they do this? They'd probably make basic shapes and forms, so something kind of like this, and then they do strips. So this is probably where the strips will come into play. That's probably how they would design it, and so it's just easier on them. Because those are, you just make one giant part. If you want, you can have bendable parts, whichever one you want it. Doesn't matter. It's all the same thing. But for typology wise, I think that would just work easier for them. And then they got their area right down here, and then you got your big arm piece that's right down this way. And let me just draw that right there. Whoop. Whoop. Yeah, that works. Yeah. Alright, everything's matching up. Arms, arms to arms. Metal pieces to metal pieces. These little oops right down here. That makes sense? Yeah, that'll work. And that will do. That way everything is the same and you can kind of pick a piece, pick apart what you need. So I think that works. Yes. Alright, so let's add some basic colors to this real quick. And then I think I will wrap up the stream there, because Bree has been, ooh, this is way too much. What was I doing? Bree has been busy. Alright. Yep. Actually, you know what? Take that down. Cool. 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 Go this way. Down. 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 All the way down here. Yep. Awesome. Perfect. I really like this culprit marker that I designed inside this thing. It saves me so much time. It pretty much does exactly what a culprit marker does, just better. They have a culprit marker that you can download for Procreate, and someone made it in this hot garbage, and I think that mine's is better. I tried theirs and I cried every time I used it, so we don't use that one anymore. But let me go tap one back. Cool. Let's, I don't know, say like there's a light source coming from the top up there, so this will be going down this way. Awesome. Yep, perfect. Show that right in there. Show that right in here. Perfect. The light source, like I said, coming from the top. Light source coming from the top. This is god awful what I'm doing right now. I am sorry. I'm gonna have to re-clean this up later. But I am just going to do the basics. Perfect. Perfect. There's a little bit of color right here. I think that this green for the signal center should work. Yeah, the green right here. The green right here. That will work. And, you know, I would even put like a green bar in the back of its head. Why not? Because, I mean, if you're gonna have fun with it, have fun with it, right? Also these little areas that I have created in here. These little bugs are in my room. It's like all these little bugs flying in here. My cat's going crazy right now. Real quick, let me do this. This is driving me crazy. Quick, you live in Florida? When you live in Florida, there's not an option for you not to close the windows, because if not, you'll kill yourself. Anyway. But yes, alright, let's get that all off. Cool. 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 Clean this all up. I have all these bugs in my room now because I let that damn door open. And turn all this off. And yeah. There you go. That's a light concept sketch. Let's do the head. Cool. Done. Yep. Easy over. Yep. And there it is. And there he is. That's a full design. So, with that, I'm going to wrap up because all these little bugs are flying on me now. That's kind of like the concept. Nothing crazy. Like I said, it's from TriStar Studios. You can go check them out online. You're a madman. A madman. Thanks, Tony. Go check them out. They're on, go Instagram, like I said, TriStar. You'll see them in the comments right there. They're trying to design a game. They're making a whole game right now. They got the whole story all out there. Like I said, all I did was kind of see some of their concept art and just kind of trying to grow it and evolve it in a sense. This makes sense to me because that's just what I was doing. Go show them some support, man. They're really dope. So, with that said, thank you guys for tuning in again and hang out with your nerdy friend. It's Bree, aka Nerdy. Obviously, got the glasses. You guys keep doing what you're doing. Love to draw. Keep just staying out, or if you're not, just keep doing what you love to do in life. All right. And with that said, stay nerdy. Keep doing it for justice, and I will see you guys, all you beautiful guys. Actually, your name's Heroes. I'll see all you beautiful heroes later. Have a good one, guys.